Hey guys, it's Alyssa and welcome back to my channel, The Divine Venus, where I put videos out every Friday, Venus Day. But today is Monday because I'm now doing something where on Monday, which is ruled by the moon, I go with the flow and I give you whatever I feel like giving you, especially because the videos that I've been putting out on Friday have been demonetized and I have to do some stupid shit to make up the time and the hours, I guess. So today we're gonna talk about what has been on everybody's mind. Was I popular in high school? The truth is, not so simple. I'm just kidding, it's really simple. I was not popular in high school at all. I'm that girl that didn't go to my prom, was never asked to homecoming. One year I was set up with a guy, whatever, it doesn't really matter. All I'm gonna tell you is I was a virgin until I was 22 and I didn't kiss a guy till after I graduated high school. Let's not talk about that right now. Let's talk about the fact of how I got to this hometown reminiscing. Well, I was watching Eurovision on Netflix, which ended up with me crying on the couch with my husband during the song, the end song, Hometown. And it got me to thinking, I need to go check my high school's Wikipedia page to see if they put me on it yet. I mean, that's just a normal thing you do, right? Every once in a while, go check your high school's Wikipedia page, see if you're important enough for them to list as like notable alumni, right? And yeah, sure enough, I'm not there because my high school sucks. And then I come across Sean Evans from Hot Ones, graduated the year after me. And I was like, wait, what? Sean Evans? I've been watching Hot Ones for the last like 6 months. It came on my radar because I watched this channel called Charisma on Command because I like watching anything about reading people, like how to make people like you. Like I watch a lot of those Observe channels. There's like a channel called Observe where they look over like how to spot a liar. I just really like that stuff. Scorpio, South Node in the 8th house. So I was watching Charisma on Command and they did this whole video on Sean Evans and I was like, okay, yeah. I watched the whole thing. I was like, oh, that's really interesting. And Hot Ones, started watching Hot Ones. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then when I saw that he went to my high school, I was like, wait, what? Why did I not know that? Like, how did I not know? And then I like Google him and there's shit, like people like to make videos about him. So I don't feel like I'm being so like exploitative of the fact that he went to my high school right now. I don't want to be like that. In fact, Sean, if you ever see this video, I thought you were a nice kid. So if you want a free chart reading from like this, like I'm not trying to get you for views. I just didn't want to talk about this because of my high school experience. I thought it was very interesting because Sean talks a lot about how he went to Crystal Lake Central, which is where I went to, how he went to South Elementary School, which is also where I went to. And in elementary school, we would have been in the same grade, but I moved around a lot. So let me just start from the beginning and I'm going to make this a good story time about my high school experience because you guys might enjoy it. I don't know. So I brought like this huge box. It says Alyssa's keepsakes on it. They're not really keepsakes. They're more like stupid shit. And we're going to go through it. So I was homeschooled until 4th grade, technically. We moved to Crystal Lake when, was it like 7? I don't know. I really have no idea. Okay, this is a book called They Call Me Sis. We had to write our own book. So I was a new kid in that school because we moved in the middle of the year. I was being homeschooled and I didn't want to be homeschooled anymore. And I was in 3rd grade because I'm born in October. And so the cutoff date was different than what my mom had thought. I was an above average student. Like as long as I was in 3rd grade that year, it was like 100% like A pluses. I was like genius, but I was some weird prodigy child. They wanted to put me in gifted classes and my mom didn't like that. I got pulled out of the school early, so I don't have a yearbook. I don't have any signatures or anything. This is the only memory I have from it. But they pulled me out for vacation early, so I didn't get to like be there at the end. And then the next year, they sent me to a school in Arlington Heights that was a private Christian school. They wanted me to have the best education. This private school, they actually tested you to put you in your classes. It wasn't based on age. I tested into 5th grade, so I technically skipped 4th grade. That's like the technical, like as far as school is concerned, I skipped 4th grade. So if you must know, me and Sean Evans could have been in the same class, but I literally don't know if there were multiple classes in the South. I don't know if like how big of it was. Like I think there might have been 2 classes, but all I know is that Mrs. Collins saved my book for me and she signed it. Dear Alyssa, I enjoyed having you for the short time you were in 3rd grade with us. You are a creative, wonderful young lady. Good luck, Mrs. Collins. So I got teachers to sign my book. That was cool. And this is just full of nonsense pictures. This is me and my white cat. That was my cat Hershey. Before I moved to Crystal Lake, I grew up in Springfield, Illinois, which is the capital because my dad's from there. So they moved us there. That's where I was pretty much homeschooled, but then we went to Crystal Lake. My dad got a job up north, and so that's started my Crystal Lake experience. If I had to tell you my hometown, it would be Crystal Lake, because before I lived in Springfield, we lived in apartments in Chicago and Fox River Grove, which is actually right near Crystal Lake. But Crystal Lake is where I spent most of my childhood, except for the year 5th grade when I went to Arlington Heights. So let's look at my yearbook picture here. We had to wear dresses and stuff. This was very like strict. I got yelled at a lot, which is so weird. But dude, that's me right there. See? I got yelled at and I was a good kid, but they just yelled at kids. That's what they did there. It's my diary. I'll read some good excerpts from my diary, so you know how happy of a kid. I have this whole, okay. I was a very boy crazy girl. Like, you're gonna see this. I like really, really liked boys, and I was really, really depressed, like as a kid. I just was. So I go back in between here, 1996. I used to like Brandon, and then I liked Jordan, and then I liked Robbie, and then Paul, and now Cameron. I don't know his last name right now. And then I added his last name, so that's cool. And then I wrote, I'm in Miss Cummings' class. For cheese and sausage, we're in the lead. I hope we don't fall behind. This is 6th grade. But here, I bounce around a lot. It said my favorite day was my birthday, and then I wrote, we keep having to change my birthday to the next weekend. I bet I won't have it, so I guess it's not my favorite day. My most unpleasant day, when we kept changing when my birthday is going to be. Look 4 pages back. This was a very important time for me. That was when my mom forgot my birthday, and then she made me change it, and then I ended up having my birthday when my sister had her birthday, and then I didn't get any presents because no one knew that it was also my birthday, so my mom changed my birthday because she forgot about it. Or this is a good one, 4/16/97. Mom moved to Springfield, Illinois. So they went to go live in my old house, but we still owned apparently. She went with my sister. They got a puppy. It was black. I haven't seen it yet. Mom dyed her hair red and wants to change it to white blonde. Mom called and said that they were getting a divorce. So I'm jumping around a lot here. My childhood was like very, very unstable. My parents fought all the time. My dad was always gone. Like I started to really, really dread school after going to this private school. It really messed with my head a lot. Like I don't know, like it freaked me out. But I kept going because then we moved back to Crystal Lake. We were in Arlington Heights for a year. I take care of my grandma. And I moved around a lot. Okay, guys, I moved around a lot. But then I went to Lundahl Middle School, and I was there for the whole year. So look at me now. Look at me now. I think I might be laying down roots here in my hometown of Crystal Lake. I circled boys I thought were hot. Here I am. And I like definitely as a girl, it says I hate her guts. So let's not look at that. See, look at that. That's my 6th grade picture. So this is, after, if you want to know my relation to Sean Evans here, he didn't go to Lundahl, and I learned that because he made a video, because I stalked the shit out of him after this, he made a video about his first kiss and how he went to Hannah Beardsley, which was the new school that wasn't built when I was in 3rd grade. So all the schools kind of intertwined, and there was weird different like boundary lines for each thing, but I lived in a place to go to South and Lundahl, and actually lived in the same house. It was weird. We like rented the same house that I was in 3rd grade. We moved to Arlington Heights and we went back and rented that house again. It's like weird. I don't know. I don't know what my parents were doing. I'm crack. So that was my Lundell school. And then we moved again. So my parents could put my brother in Central High School territory, because for some reason there's this high school called South, and they didn't want me to go there, and that was my territory, like Lundell to South. Parents did not like that, so they moved us. They also didn't like that I couldn't walk, because my mom was always had ailments and my dad was always gone for work, and they didn't want me to take a bus, so they really liked that I could walk. I don't know. There were weird things that, like, looking back, like, I've tried to ask my mom about it. I'm like, you just wanted us to walk. She's like, well, if you did after school activities, I didn't want to have to pick you up. We moved to North, and I don't have a yearbook for 7th grade because I went in the middle of the year because my mom told me she wanted to homeschool me. She ended up not homeschooling me, and I went in the middle of the year, and needless to say, I didn't make a good first impression, and everyone made fun of me. But in 8th grade, I circled a lot of people and crossed out a lot of people I hated, so that's good. This is my 8th grade picture. See, there I am. One time in 8th grade, I got my period on the desk. Yeah, like I was sitting on the desk and I happened to get my period and blood went on the desk, and I went to the bathroom right away, and I actually thought that no one knew about it, but the girl who was with me told everybody. And there's this other girl, Anne, she used to make fun of me a lot, like in 8th grade. See, when I went to Lundell, there was this girl named Candace, and she's not in here because she's new. She was a new girl, so I can't show you her. She came and she started like making fun of me, and I don't know why, because she's not even on like the new list. It's like she's a ghost from my past. So Candace used to make fun of me. And then when I was in 8th grade, Anne made fun of me. And this girl, Megan, one time these girls, the popular girls, were all together while I was waiting for my mom, and they walked up to me, and one of them, Megan, walked up to me and smelled my hair, and then they went back to this group of girls and just like giggled about it. My mom said that they were just, it's one of those moments where my mom's like, oh, they're just jealous, Alyssa. And I was like, I don't think it's that. I think I smell. I think I'm dirty. You probably should start showering or something. I don't know. But that was pretty devastating. I was really depressed. I actually hated my mom homeschooling me more than I hated going to school. So I chose to go to school. And that's where I ended up at Central. They got into like a big flack for this because the person who drew the picture like shows the school like getting blown up. It's so edgy. Look, I have like one, this is me. We made this float. Can you see? That's me. So I was there freshman year. I actually had tried freshman year to make friends and be cute and like just kind of make a new name for myself, but it was too late for me. I had a crush on this guy, Sam. He was my, what's it called? He was my lab partner in science class, and he was tall, cute, like had really big eyelashes. And this guy, Dave, he had a crush on me, okay? Like he did, and I knew he did because he told me to my face, and I just really didn't like him at all. And so one day, like I said, I don't like you, I like Sam. And so he's on the football team, and so is Sam, and they're all in the library for study hall. And Dave goes, hey, Sam, I know who has a crush on you. And he's like, who? And he says, Alyssa Begay. And he goes, ew, she's ugly. And then all the football players that were there, the cool guys, they laughed really loud. And they thought it was so funny because then the librarian had to tell him to, shh, stop laughing over how ugly Alyssa is. And Dave told me. But it was good that he told me, because the next day in science class in lab, I was trying to talk to him, Sam, and he was like, don't talk to me, and he yelled at me, and then he never sat with me again, and the science teacher didn't do anything about it. He just sat with his friend while I sat alone every day in science and didn't have a lab partner. I was tainted by my class of people. You can see my freshman year, it was the worst picture ever. I don't know exactly how this happened to me. Like I did my hair all with the butterfly clips and stuff. I had my little necklaces. Yeah, it didn't work out for me. Sophomore year, I can see that I circled, and freshman year I didn't circle the hot guys. I think I circled all the hot guys sophomore year. Yeah, but there's me. I'll show you me. Actually, I think I have this picture because, like a dumbass, I forgot it was picture day. I'm wearing my Central High School shirt. Like, it was this big orange shirt. But I really liked the orange gear, I guess. But looking at it, I was so mad. Also, you can see this here. I don't know if you can tell. But I have my old smile. And this is going to sound weird. I had, like, mouth surgery, which I'll show you because it's awesome. You guys want to see Sean Evans' yearbook picture? I mean, he's famous, so I'm playing on him right now, okay? Sean, I kind of hope you watch this so you know that I'm, like, stalking you and not, like, behind your back, that this is, like, in front of your back thing. Let's see if Sean was on my radar yet. Okay. Yeah, Sean was on my radar. He's circled. Yeah, that's him. He's, like, the red line. I thought he was cute. I actually, like, this is the thing I'm going to tell you, that seeing that is weird because I don't really remember knowing if the freshmen were hot, but that was so long ago. Like I said, I was so boy crazy. I really just remember, like, Sean the most my senior year because we sat in co-op study hall together. So Sean, if he probably doesn't remember, but we sat in co-op study hall together because we were both seniors and he was a junior, and we were near each other, like on the cafeteria tables. So we'd always be sitting there and take attendance. And I just remember Sean being really nice. And this is something too, I'm going to tell you, I did like the freshmen, and I did like the ones a year younger than me and a year older than me, because, like, I was so tainted by my own class. My own class just did not like me. And so if I could hang out with somebody else, like a different age group, I was going to do it. When I was a senior, I asked a junior to homecoming with me, and he turned me down. Yeah, I dyed my hair blonde my junior year. There, see I am. That was my favorite Abercrombie shirt. So I'm not smiling in that picture, and it's because I had mouth surgery. So I dyed my hair blonde, I guess, to make up for the fact that I had a big gap in my teeth, like the first year. But for some reason, I did kind of have more confidence than I did before. Like, I don't know what it was. I came back to school. I was still a little puffy. This is after my mouth surgery. Like this. Look at those VHSs behind me. There's a big gap, so I wasn't smiling. Oh, here's a good picture of me at the 8th grade dance. See, like, it's so weird, you know, when you look back in high school, because I'm like, I was cute. I definitely look like a very, very innocent. So I never really got why I was easy to make fun of. Like, I'm not hurt about it anymore, but I used to have, like, some deep wounds about that, because I was just like, I'm just trying to be something. Like, I always wanted more than Crystal Lake no matter what. And I do think that I was an odd one out because I did move a lot. You know, I changed schools. Like, I belong to Crystal Lake, but I don't belong to Crystal Lake. Like, these people were, like, bred here, and a lot of them all still live there. They have families, they dated each other, and they just, like, still hang out. And that's kind of an interesting thing for me. I mean, some of them have gone and done things. I think that's another reason why I was so kind of shocked about Sean, because I just thought that everybody in Crystal Lake stayed in Crystal Lake. I became, like, very, very self-deprecating, and I think that's another way that I kind of came into myself. I got a job at my church, and I learned that if I made fun of myself, people really dug that. So I just started to do that, and I kind of gained a little bit of popularity outside of high school. And then senior year of high school, I think I started to finally get it, or, like, come into it a little bit more. Like, I wasn't voted most changed. My brother went to my high school, and so did my sister. My brother was a year older and he's on the football team, and this is his senior year, and I think he was voted most changed. People really liked my brother because my brother was in a band. Like, he sings, he played guitar. So when I was a junior, I started to be in classes with my brother and my brother's friends, and I feel like that was kind of cool because they called me Big A's sister. I guess I liked that, but it made me feel like I was included, because I think that's just what you want in high school. You just want to feel like you're included, right? Like, that you're part of something. And I think that's probably, you can see why, like, I just felt like I needed to, like, I was so sad not being accepted into, like, the spiritual community, like in astrology and all that stuff too, like astrology community. you're just kind of looking for acceptance, right? And when you're a kid growing up in like a very close-knit community in town and they really, really don't like you. My first date I ever went on was a guy that was my brother's age, like the year older than me. He took me to see Gangs of New York at like 10 o'clock. So I got home at like 3 in the morning. I was really tired and he never called me again. But that was kind of my fault because he said, do you want to do this again? And I said, I don't know, because it was my first date and I was so nervous and I threw up. This is my senior yearbook. It's all backwards because I was on the yearbook community and we were like, we're going to do memento. We're going to make it backwards. It was stupid. So I hated my senior year picture. Everyone thought it was fine, but okay, so my name is, it's pronounced Begay. That's my maiden name. So Alyssa Begay is that, in case you were like, what? I did win something. I got most artistic. See, there's my name, most artistic. That's because I was in a lot of art classes. And I had this big painting of myself and my black dog, you know, the black puppy I mentioned. Me and Esmeralda, I loved my doggy, and I painted a picture. It was really big. So they knew, like, whenever they walked through the hallway, they would see a painting of me that was done by me. And actually, my art teacher was so mad at me because I didn't do anything with my life with art. Actually, I don't have my painting of me and my dog, and this is a very warped black and white picture, but they took a picture of me next to the painting of me, my dog, and that's in the yearbook. This is a good picture of me in the yearbook. They wrote fine arts on my tongue. That was a thing I had. Also, I didn't circle the hot guys in this one, so I'm sorry. So that was my yearbook stuff. What makes somebody just get that spark, you know, to leave, and what makes people want to stay? Whenever I go back there, it feels like you've never left. That's the weirdest, most eerie thing about it, is that everything is the same. And I don't know how it stays the same, but I think it's because of close-knit communities and passing down traditions. And I'm not traditional like that, you know? And I think that's also why I was sort of a threat, because moving around so much, I mean, I didn't get those close connections to friends and to people to keep you safe. And when I went to North, and I was in 8th grade, in 7th grade, I ate lunch alone. I didn't have a lot of support from my parents because they were pretending to get a divorce for years. So I'm good at living an unstable life. I definitely wanted more for myself, and I wanted to show people that I could be somebody. That was my driving force to finally get on YouTube. And it was really nice back when I got on YouTube because it wasn't all this like weird algorithm. It allowed me to grow based on like word of mouth, and even with my shitty equipment, it was just about me and my personality, like finally getting to come out in some way. Like if you're like me a little bit, you know, and you can't follow the normal way, there's ways to go around it. There's ways to go in through the back door. And like, I wasn't cool. I didn't have confidence growing up. I was the most insecure girl in the entire world. And every time I'd be like, next year's gonna be better, it just wasn't better. It was so weird. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be my year. The guy that I like is not gonna call me ugly to all of his guy friends and ruin my reputation. And it would just, something worse would happen. It was ridiculous. I was such a loser my freshman year that my brother didn't even want me to talk to him. It was like, and I didn't do anything for that. It was nothing that I did. These are just books of poetry. So if you want one of these dumb videos of me reading my poetry later, drop me a comment. This is my graduation day. Looking good. Oh, this was my homecoming senior year. I felt so fat. Looking back, I'm like, no, I was just cute. I had big arms. I mean, I always do. I was holding on to a lot of emotional pain. Yeah, I look cute with the braces though, right? Like you're into it. You're like, oh my God, Alyssa, how adorable. You're so cute. I was still, you know, and I said I was just very self-deprecating, and I was very mean to myself throughout my 20s. I don't know, feeling like living in that sardonic way about your life, and yeah, it just sucks. It's funny, but it also does pull you down a little bit, because it took me a while. It was after my Saturn return when I realized I needed to stop putting myself down, because all I was doing was allowing other people to put me down. And as much as my childhood, I tried really hard to succeed and excel and ascend, and kept getting pushed down with that energy and just was a boy crazy emotional mess. I stopped myself when I was in my 20s, and I should have just kept going. I should have done all the things that I wanted to do, but I've had a deep, dark fear of people making fun of me, of being bullied, of hating myself, the instability that a risk even takes. Like sometimes you just want to like hunker down and just have a normal life. But I realized that if I was still doing the same thing a year from now, that would scare me more than the unknown. I wasn't that brave. I was just not brave enough to keep my life going the same way. I wasn't brave enough to move back to my hometown and do that. I didn't want to do that. It wasn't in my blood, and it might not be in yours. And I just feel like there's ways to get the things that you want out of your life. And whether you go the normal route like Sean did, and he became this very successful, he's probably going to be on TV, I imagine. He's probably going to take over a late night host. People really like him. He's great, and he was a very nice guy in high school. I haven't talked to him since then. Or if you're just wandering around like me, you might be like me, and it's something to know, if you're wandering around, there's a world for you too. But you just got to think about what you really, really want and shoot for that. And I didn't know that this would be a career for me like the way that it is, but I also knew that I didn't have a choice because I was gonna die stuck somewhere. So that's my little story for you. And if you like stories like this, if you like these kind of videos, maybe I'll do some more of them. If you want me to read my poetry or go through memory lane with anything else again, let me know. Anyway, I'll see you guys on Friday. Bye.